First rule of thumb with Café Rose, don't expect any coffee, but to all my rose lovers out there, you're going to dig this one. Hey YouTube fragrance family, welcome to another Robes 08 fragrance review. Today I'm going to put my nose on the House of Tom Ford, and from the private blend, it's rose-based scent called Café Rose. Let's go. Café Rose hit the shelves in 2012. Bottle sizes, the one you see here, the 1.7 ounce, the bigger bottle, the 3.4 ounce, and of course the flacon, the 8.4 ounce. Concentration is eau de parfum. It is part of Le Jardin Noir collection. Basically, this collection was of traditional floral notes with a darker edge, which Café Rose nailed it on the head. As far as pricing goes, very pricey. As far as a private blend goes, you're looking at $225 to $495 online, American. Again, shop around. Discounters may have this for around under $200, I would assume, for Café Rose. The nose behind Café Rose is Antoine Lime, no stranger to the private blend line. Also the nose behind Azur Lime, also 888 from Comme des Garçons, and Armani Code, one of the noses attached to that. So Antoine Lime has a fairly large resume. Let's take a look at the note breakdown for Café Rose. We have saffron, May rose, and black pepper in the introduction. In the mid, we got the double-headed Rose Monster, Turkish and Bulgarian Rose. In the base, we have a really dark base. We have patchouli, incense, sandalwood, amber, and of course, the other half of the name of this fragrance, the coffee. Now, the major notes to this nose right here are you're going to see that one of those notes is missing, notably. Of course, Bulgarian Rose, May Rose. The saffron, patchouli, black pepper, and incense are all major notes in Café Rose. The only one missing is, of course, the coffee. Group, this is a floral fragrance. How many sprays and where? When I put this one on, really it's spring right now, and I felt like the best way of wearing this one is 5. This one actually has quite a bit of power, so you can go a little less too, depending on the situation. So I do 1 on the chest, 2 on the neck, so I'm going to go here and here, and then 2 on the arms. Since I'm wearing a long sleeve, I can just put it right here, inner elbows, and I am set. Now let's delve into Café Rose. I'm gonna do another spray here on my hand so I can enjoy this introduction. The introduction of Café Rose really is a rose lover's heaven. Really outstanding rose in Café Rose, and it is the major factor in this fragrance. This is a rose-based scent, so let's sniff it out, and god damn, that rose is just killer. It really does. It is one of the best in the game. The first minute of Café Rose, if I really delve into this fragrance, and this is something I just recently discovered with this fragrance, is that if you do own this fragrance and you're like, I don't smell any coffee, Mark, it is very hard to pinpoint the coffee in the first few minutes. Now, again, this is not a huge deal, but if you do put your nose right into it, the first two to 5 minutes on your skin, if you put your nose right to your skin with the initial spray, you are going to smell a dark coffee in here. It obviously dissipates quite quickly to the roses, kind of gives way to the roses immediately. The roses just engulf your nose and it's game over. The coffee here gave me a faint bitterness, a nuttiness, and almost an earthy-like tone. Of course, that could come from the patchouli too, but really is still there. However, the roses is coming up, and it is going to engulf your nose. So if you are spraying it and you're smelling it from afar, especially if you're just wearing it like this casually, the rose is the first thing that hits you. But I wanted to just let you, all of you out there, know about that opening. So now on to the major show of Café Rose, which is, of course, the rose. This is paired with a good spice that comes with the rose immediately. That is the saffron and, of course, the pepper in the opening. So you're going to continue to smell these three almost throughout the fragrance. They dissipate a little bit, especially the spices. The saffron's a pretty big deal in this one. The pepper kind of trails off, but definitely these are the 3 major factors in Café Rose. Now, the roses, the roses in here, how can I explain these? These roses are really authentic. They have that dewiness to it. It almost feels like, of course, rose petals with a little bit of, after a rainy day, moist dewiness. It even has that sweet jammy rose that I absolutely love. Another fragrance that has that with a high price tag is Agar Wood by Mr. James Healy. It's supposed to be an oud based scent, but the rose just kicks its ass. It's just like this. The rose just kicks the coffee's ass, basically. This jammy rose is huge. Rose also, just because there is different types of roses in here, rose will give out a powdery vibe, and I felt that Café does have a minor powdery hit at times during some wearings. Café really does push a high quality Bulgarian rose from what I smell, and a little bit of course of the May rose. It slowly darkens, especially in the opening. You're going to see that transformation. There is some darkness almost throughout the fragrance just because of the spices. The saffron gives you that kick, but it eventually, the rose kind of gets engulfed, and I'm going to talk about that more in the dry down, but it slowly darkens in the opening. It's almost getting very, very dark, and it gives real good contrast to, of course, the traditional rose note, traditional rose-based fragrance. It really makes this fragrance more unisex than just feminine. Really nicely done from Tom Ford, in my personal opinion. The spicy saffron, I just want to talk about it again. I know I've mentioned it a few times already in this introduction, but it does play a major part of the opening right up to the mid of this fragrance. It really has a major part to the fragrance. It really does a great thing to rose. And again, rose, saffron work very well together. They are usually paired also in oud-based fragrances. So oud, rose, and saffron together. A lot of Motel fragrances have that. They play each other very, very well. And in Café Rose with that great rose, that saffron is actually up to the challenge with this great rose, and really amplifies this fragrance, giving it some depth, giving it a little bit of kick. Really well done by Tom Ford here. You're gonna have to like rose as far as this fragrance to actually like this opening. However, it will get darker almost immediately. It's going to give it some depth and also a masculine edge, but you do have to be patient, especially as a man. If you don't like roses, this may not be for you, especially if you have rose in the name. You're probably going to bypass this anyway. So I am one to give scents a huge thumbs up when the perfumier takes a note like rose and nails it. And in Café Rose, I don't think this can be argued that this rose is simply outstanding in this fragrance. Almost has a refined feel. Café Rose shows me one of the best rose-based openings in the game. I'll be honest, it shows many aspects of the rose, gives me all facets of the rose. I really felt like the rose itself was an all-star in this fragrance. In the opening, you're going to start getting the backbone of the scent, which is actually the green patchouli, which will be a little stronger in the mid to base. Now, talking about the mid to base, let's get into more of the dry down of Café Rose. What does it give me? Well, once I start getting into this scent a little more, it's on my skin for a while, I describe Café Rose as a peppered, dark, smoky, rose-based scent, which is masterfully blended. I can't deny the quality of the rose in here. I can't deny the blend. The craftsmanship in here, really excellent, A1. This introduces the creamy sandalwood also in the dry down to give the scent a little bit of a woody aspect, paired with, of course, the amplified patchouli, so that comes up a little bit more, and just a little touch of incense, just a little touch, and amber to continue to darken this scent. Almost to the color of the black box here. It really gives the rose, you almost feel like the bottle here, almost a lot of black, and then you just got a little bit of that rose still in the forefront. Almost getting eaten alive. It almost feels like the dry down, the rose gets kind of pulled into the dark hole of the base notes of this fragrance, kind of stretching the rose until the end of the scent. Now let's discuss the coffee, right? The elephant in the room. A lot of you have probably seen tons of reviews on this fragrance talking about the coffee's non-existent, things like that. The coffee, as I said in my initial impression video on this, is highly disappointing. It just is. It returns mildly in this dry down, giving this scenty dry coffee bean like smell. However, so subtle, so subtle and synthetic that it does not deserve to be in the name of this particular fragrance. I'll be quite honest. But it should have been. The coffee here is really subpar. It's really hard to make an outstanding coffee scent, especially when you got a rose like this in the fragrance. I could see the Parfumie really struggling with a coffee note to pair with this. So to my coffee lovers out there, I feel you, because this is the reason why I looked into this scent is because of the coffee. I didn't care two licks about the rose. All I cared about was, is there good coffee in here? And I know Tom Ford can deliver, however, did not as far as a coffee lover. However, to my rose lovers out there, oh my, he nailed it. Now let's get into the recommended age. The recommended age for Café Rose, price tag, the rose, and all this, it all has to be a factor. And I would have to say this is 20 plus, even almost 25 plus, depending on who you are. 100% unisex. I can see a woman, a very strong woman, wearing this fragrance. It has some darkness to it. The roses kind of have some thorns here. So anybody that can pull this off as a woman, I applaud you. Great. I can see this on a woman, and it would be fantastic. Fragrances that go against this or are in the same ball club as this, I would have to name out Intense Café by Montal, which I think they were released in near the same time. Noir de Noir by Tom Ford, it's down here somewhere. Of course, a lot of people prefer Noir de Noir, especially the masculine frag heads out there. Really love Noir de Noir. It has a really good reputation in the community. Café Rose is kind of iffy depending on your taste. I would put this against the grain with, if you're looking for something that has a rose, but it has some depth or some kick to it, Rose 31 comes immediately to mind from Le Labo, a challenging rose. It has a lot of kick to it. Lyric Man, of course, by Amouage is an excellent rose too. So that's just to name a few. I could keep going on and on, as rose-based fragrances have been here for years and years. So those are the fragrances. Best time to wear Café Rose, I would have to say this works very well formally. Really well. It just feels dressed up. However, at the same time, I can just wear this casually too. I really feel like a shirt like this, cargo shorts and wearing Café Rose, it doesn't have the same effect as a tuxedo wearing Café Rose. But I'll be honest, I could see a woman wearing this with a killer dress on. Whew, that would work formally really well. Seasons. This is going to work so well in the fall. I think that is probably its main season. Spring, we're in the middle of spring here, and it worked very well, especially those rainy days, because of that thickness. That patchouli kind of throws itself a little up. When it rains, it just feels like patchouli and rose works really well in the spring. Summer nights, right? Those cooler summer nights, perfect for that. Development, is this linear, average, or complex? This is tippy-toeing between complex and average. I will have to put average. Really great job by Tom Ford, Parfumier Antoine. Really great work here as far as the complexity and the development of this fragrance. Fairly average to almost complex. Work appropriate. I'm going to say yes for the right person. However, I see this more as an evening scent. However, I've heard some people say that they're going to wear this during the day and Noir de Noir from Tom Ford during the night, and I could definitely see that. So that goes to signature scent worthy. I can also see that. I can see that for the right person, the right woman, the right man can definitely wear this as a signature scent. For me, as someone that has an arsenal like mine, I have a little more leeway. I would not wear this as a signature. I'd wear it from time to time. Let's get into my rating system. Let's see how Café Rose does on my rating system. Again, with the fragrance community on YouTube, we're very much split apart. I've watched all the Café Rose fragrance reviews on YouTube, and I've noticed a trend. Either you think this is a shit release from Tom Ford, or you really enjoy this. And the middle ground is there, but not so much. So let's take a look. Projection. 9 bottles out of 10. When I was wearing this thing was projecting fairly highly. High to moderate. I really never felt like wearing this, and I felt like I was wearing a skin scent. This thing does push. Longevity, 8 bottles out of 10. That goes to the same thing. This is, good bang for your buck. If you're looking for performance, this is going to perform for you. I've heard some people that get like 24 hours with this thing. 8 to 10 for me. Sometimes, of course, passing that 10, double digits, going into 12, but really 8 to 10 is the most that I'm getting out of this. Compliment factor, 8 bottles out of 10. Very interesting that the compliment factor is so high on me. Again, this is from people day to day and people that know that I'm the fragrance guy. So they come up to me. No one's really shy about telling me if it's shit or good. And, when I talk about fragrances to people, I always ask them what they think of what I'm wearing. This one's an easy one because it stays on my skin and it projects. So I was getting a lot of positive feedback with this one. Yeah, you'd get once in a while, hey, it's a rose-based scent. So you're going to get those things that people are going to say, you smell kind of feminine. No, I wouldn't wear that. As a man, I sold a couple bottles of this to women easily enough. Really great feedback as far as an 8 bottles out of 10. Uniqueness, 8 bottles out of 10. The rose-based fragrances aren't unique. I'll be honest. So you're saying, why the high score? 8. I really think the complexity, the depth of this fragrance, the use of the notes, really well orchestrated. And the jammy rose here, jammy rose is really rare in fragrances. I only have like a small handful of these fragrances that really shows that jammy rose. And when I mean jammy, I'm not meaning like pixie stick sweetness. It's a really nice upscale jammy rose, really great. So 8 out of 10. That goes to pricing versus what you get. And again, this is a huge factor in Tom Ford private blends because they are pricey. I gave it an 8 bottles out of 10. And a lot of you are going to be like, what? But I think it's definitely worth it for rose lovers. If you're a Tom Ford private blend kind of person and you were looking for a rose-based scent, a high-end rose-based scent, I really think the buck stops here. I really like what they did with this one. 8 bottles out of 10. That goes to versatility. This one, I felt it was kind of versatile. I gave it a 7 bottles out of 10. Again, I was saying that I was wearing it casually, and I think it's more of a dressed up type of scent, but really outstanding. As far as versatility, again, it's not killing the Richter scale. It's only a 7, but I could see this being worn 3, even 4 seasons out of the year. I can wear it daily, but mostly for evening wear. As far as smell goes, 8 bottles out of 10. Really outstanding rose, of course. The coffee, yeah, brought down the score a little bit. I wish it had a complete theme going on here, that the coffee was outstanding and the rose was outstanding. However, as far as smell, just taking that name out of the equation, very, very solid from the House of Tom Ford. So that's why it gets an 8. And that goes to an overall score. Café Rose, solid from the House of Private Blend. I really think this is a solid release. Again, it's all subjective. It's all about your taste. And I think the rose lovers out there that really like Tom Ford and his line are going to absolutely love this one. An 8 out of 10. Now into my buy, try, or pass. Café Rose has to be a try. It's just like our YouTube fragrance community. I really think our community is very much separated on this fragrance. There's that almost like that 70% right here, and there's a 30% right here. The 70% kind of, they're lukewarm on this fragrance or they hate it, and the other 30% absolutely love it, 10 out of 10. The other ones are like, it's not worth the money type of thing and stuff like that. So I'm with you guys that absolutely love it. I'm not 10 out of 10 jumping out of joy, but I'm right here. I'm like an 8 out of 10. And I know what you guys see in this fragrance. The rose is absolutely outstanding. And if you like this rose, just a little tip from your friendly fragrance reviewer, go check out Agar Wood by James Healy. It's the same kind of rose. Absolutely gorgeous. Especially for the men out there that do like this one. So overall, Café Rose, a solid release from the House of Tom Ford and their private blend line. Immediately, the coffee lovers are going to ditch this one. They're going to be like, this is a dud. You know what? I'm a coffee lover. I had to see it for what it was. I see it as a very solid and probably I would say the best from the Jardin Noir series from Mr. Ford. Very much a unisex scent. Again, out there, the women out there that have a little bit of an edge to them are gonna absolutely love this one. Great complexity in this one, good depth to this one. I personally enjoyed Café Rose, and it will have a place in my rotation in the spring and also in the fall. Overall, very solid rose-based scent from Tom Ford. So I just want to thank you all for watching my review on Café Rose. And if you wish to see the presentation in depth, as usual, just stick around and I will show you the bottle and the box. And please remember, a great or poor fragrance will make a lasting impression. Choose your scent wisely. I'd like to thank my partner, FragranceX.com, for Café Rose. If you wish to go on FragranceX.com, they have Café Rose in stock. You can utilize my code ROBES08 to purchase this fragrance or any of the Tom Ford private blend on their website. Now let's take a look at the bottle and the box. And as you can see, the box is a little different from the traditional Tom Ford private blend. It is from the Jardin Noir series. So again, of course, it has the black. As you can see, it has some sort of ribbing here. You got the pink purple sticker with Tom Ford. You'll have Tom Ford at the top here. You'll have some information at the back and some at the bottom. And like any other Tom Ford, the bottle would actually sit in the box here. So nothing too crazy here as far as the box goes. Now let's take a look at the bottle. The bottle itself, again, not a big change. The dark, and you got the pink, almost a lilac looking sticker here with Café Rose. You got Tom Ford up top here, and that's about it. Same shape bottle as the rest of the private blend, and then you got a sticker at the bottom. The atomizer itself, let's take a look. Again, the cap itself, there's not too much weight to it. And these atomizers do have an accuracy to them, as you can see, very, very well done.